Stop scrolling right now because what Dylan Wang and Shen Yue discussed behind closed doors about Miles Wei proposal has sent shockwaves through fandom spaces everywhere, and if you think this was a calm, polite conversation, then think again, because insiders say the tension in that room could be felt from the hallway, and if you want every charged second, every difficult question, and the one moment that left both of them silent, then stay with us until the very end because the final exchange might be the most revealing yet. The meeting happened quietly. Too quietly for something this explosive.
No cameras. No assistants hovering.
No official schedule entry. Just a private suite booked under a generic name in a high-rise hotel overlooking the city. Rain tapped softly against the glass. Lights from traffic smeared into glowing streaks below. Shen Yue arrived first. She stood near the window, arms folded, staring down at the streets, while her phone buzzed in her hand. She did not check it. Not yet. Inside her mind, the same three words kept circling. Miles Wei proposal. When the door finally opened, Dylan Wang stepped in. He hesitated for half a second before closing it behind him. The sound echoed louder than it should have. They stared at each other. Not angry. Not soft. Just careful. You wanted to talk,
Dylan said.
She nodded.
Yes.
About what is happening? He exhaled slowly. I figured. They sat across from each other on opposite ends of a long sofa, like two people negotiating territory instead of catching up. For a moment neither spoke. Then Shen Yue broke the silence. I told both of you to give me space. I know. Dylan replied quickly. That is why I waited. She studied his face. Then why are you here? Because...
He paused.
Miles' proposal is not something I can pretend does not exist. Her jaw tightened. You are not supposed to react to it. I am human. He answered. That is not a crime. She looked away. It becomes one when everyone else feels it too. Dylan leaned forward. I am not trying to pressure you. I am trying to understand. Understand what? What you are thinking. What you want, whether I still matter in this equation. That line hung in the air. Shen Yue turned back to him slowly. This is exactly what I meant by pressure. He flinched. She continued. I asked for space because every conversation turns into a tug-of-war. You both keep asking me to decide, to reassure, to clarify. And I do not have those answers yet. Dylan nodded. I know. But this proposal changed the stakes.
She shot back.
The internet changed the stakes. Not me.
He sighed.
Maybe. But he still asked you. That is not nothing. She did not deny it. She simply said. And that does not erase everything else. Dylan softened slightly. Everything else meaning. Meaning my life. My career. My family. My fear of making the wrong choice in front of millions. He leaned back. Do you regret letting him ask? She blinked.
No.
Then she added. But I resent being cornered by the noise afterward. Dylan stared at the floor for a moment, then spoke quietly. I wish I had spoken sooner. She looked at him.
So do I.
That honesty surprised him.
She went on.
Not because it would have fixed everything, but because silence creates space for chaos. He nodded. Fair. She folded her hands. But we cannot rewrite that now. So, why did you want to meet? He asked. She answered without hesitation. To make sure we are clear. He lifted his head.
About what?
About boundaries. Her voice was steady. I am not deciding anything tonight. Not about Miles. Not about you. Not about my future. Dylan swallowed. And you wanted me to hear that directly?
Yes.
She said. Because rumors keep twisting every pause into a confession. He hesitated, then asked the question he had been holding. Do you still have feelings for me? Shen Yue closed her eyes for a second, then opened them. I would not be sitting here if I did not. His breath caught. But, she added, feelings are not instructions. They are information, not orders. Dylan nodded slowly. And him. She answered honestly. He matters too. The room went very still. That was the sentence fans would have replayed for weeks if they had heard it. Dylan looked conflicted. So, what am I supposed to do? She met his gaze. Respect the pause. Let me think. Let me choose without someone standing 5 steps behind me asking where I am headed. He exhaled. That is harder than you think. She allowed herself a small smile. I know, which is why it matters. He leaned forward again. And if he pushes? She answered calmly. He has not. Then if he waits? She tilted her head. Then he understands. Dylan stared at her for a long moment. You are different lately. She shrugged. I am tired of being pulled. He nodded.
I can see that.
They sat in silence, the rain tapping faster against the window. Finally Dylan stood. This was not the conversation I hoped for. She rose too. It is the one we needed. He studied her face. You are not shutting me out. She shook her head.
No.
I am shutting the noise out. There is a difference. He nodded slowly, then said something softer. Whatever you decide, make sure it is yours. She looked surprised, then grateful. I plan to. They walked toward the door together. Not close, not distant, just careful. Outside the hallway was empty, but the tension stayed behind. Within hours whispers started. 2 people in one room.
Noise instance.
No photos. Talking about the proposal. Speculation raced. Fan pages exploded. Some insisted this meant reconciliation. Others swore it was closure. Others claimed it was a turning point no one saw coming. But the truth was quieter. And heavier. It was 2 people finally speaking plainly in the middle of chaos. If you want to know what Dylan did after leaving that hotel, who he called first, and why Miles Wei suddenly went quiet online, then stay tuned, because this meeting may have shifted the entire board and the next move might belong to someone no one expected.